Alright guys, this is pretty long because I read everything, so I'm gonna be putting timestamps in the description for when I read Battle Royale, Creative, and Save the World. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna be looking at the version 9.10 patch notes. So I see there's this new thing. Hotspots, randomly selected locations on the map that have a high loot rate with an increase of supply drops. Alright. The LTM rotation is going to be sniper shootout on vaulted squads and close encounters squads. And reduced availability for shadow bombs and reduced from 3 to 2 whenever you get them. Alright. Unvaulted to semi-auto sniper because of other scoped weapons being vaulted, so this is going to be unvaulted. Alright, reduce the availability of the combat shotgun. Okay, let's see, bugs. Dropping part of a consumable stack with part of a consumable while using no longer interrupts it. So like, if you're using a big pot and you have 2 in your inventory and you drop one, the one you're using won't stop. Alright? Shadow bombs correctly leave players' inventories when there's none left. Shadow bombs are consumed properly when quickly picking up a replacement item during activation. Combat shotgun now applies appropriate environmental damage roll-off. Ability to move is no longer lost if Rift to Go was used with balloons. The bush now correctly attaches to players in specific animations such as skydiving. Resolve inconsistent behavior while using flint-knock pistol during crouch. Air vent audio is now completely removed upon destruction. Boogie bombs now properly prevent affected players from skydiving. Okay. Camera issues when exiting a mounted turret have been resolved. Remote explosives will now open and close with doors they are stuck to. Okay. Some of these bugs are for, like, creative because they're removed from Battle Royale. Alright, introducing hotspots. Every match select name locations will be marked with gold text on the map. These hotspots represent the presence of loot carriers. Shoot down the carriers for additional high quality weapons. Minimum of 1 hotspot, 25% of 2, 5% of 3. Alright. Loot carriers drop weapon of rare or higher, so epic or legendary also. Hotspots have between 12 and 16 loot carriers. Oh. And they each drop 2 stacks of the ammo of the rare or higher gun they come with. Equipping the blueprint to start building has improved in high latency situations. Added crosshair dot while skydiving to allow for more precise map making. Great change. I always wanted that. Alright, fix an issue with auto material swap canceling turbo build if the client can't protect the material amount quick enough. Great. Updated environmental and cozy campfire trap collision to better allow players to walk over campfires. Another great change. Players can no longer fire and reload weapons while reviving a down but not out teammate. What? You can do that? Dang. Well, you can't anymore. Contrails are no longer stuck on a player if they drop from the bus directly into a slipstream. Alright, fixed regression in level streaming performance introduced in version 9.0. This significantly improve loading times for buildings and reduce instances of players landing on low LOD meshes. I think, like, this change, it's like, so if your map doesn't load it, I think it will now. Your map will load in. I think that's what that means. Reduce hitches shortly after landing, especially on lower end hardware. Example, the Switch. Alright. Improve enemy jump sounds. Okay. Reduce the time that it takes the enemy and air audio loop to kick in for better awareness of an enemy dropping in on you or from above. Boosted the volume of nearby footsteps and landing sounds of enemies that not in line of sight. Alright, so just boosting the enemy footsteps and jumps. Added clearer sound when an enemy confirms an edit on a building piece within 2 tiles of your position. Pretty good. Remove glider audio tell for players traveling through a slipstream. That's great. I always thought people were landing on me, but they're actually just riding around. Your emote music will now prioritize over other players' emotes in the front end. Emote music is now full stereo when in the front end. Added a new headshot plus shield break sound for when 2 events occur at the same time. Lower the minimum velocity required to trigger a landing sound. Alright. Walking up on the edge of a building piece plays correct material specific to footstep audio. Enemy's pickaxe sound now plays correctly from impact point and not from player using the pickaxe. So whatever is getting hit has sound instead of the person hitting. The boom bows fire sound has been fixed to not cut off when switching weapons immediately after shooting. Firing weapons no longer lowers building sounds. Oh, alright, that's good. Change return to lobby to leave match. Adjusted the damage color when taking shield damage back to the increased contrast version of the original. Because, like, whenever I was getting hit, I thought I was knocked because, like, it was red. Party leaders who left their party's current match could start a new match and take the entire party with them. Oh my god, that would suck. But that's fixed now. Alright. Focus no longer changes when watching a server replay during the bus phase. Watching live games will no longer change players when joining the battle bus. Okay. We've noticed iOS patches have experienced delays appearing in the App Store recently. Apple has stated that any applications can take up to 24 hours to appear in the App Store. If no update is available, be sure to check out our social channels for more info. Alright, remove the HUD when respawning. We've made improvements to the UI by adding an exit button to the following: squad formation and lobby, playground match options, event screen. Removed vibration toggle settings for devices that do not support vibration. Players' ammo count now correctly displays in all languages. The minimap has been adjusted to fit correctly in large team LTMs. Bluetooth headset sound quality has been improved. The interaction loading bar no longer progresses counterclockwise. Start game widget in creative no longer overlaps with the inventory hotbar. Phase mode button now correctly displays in creative. FPS counter not being fully displayed on curved screens. Emote audio now plays for the full duration on the Nintendo Switch. Scope weapons ADS perspective could remain on screen when switching weapons. Player's view could be inverted when aiming. Alright, well, those are the fixes. Alright, what's new in creative? Fortnite X Jordan show off your moves in a New York style downtown drop LTM by Jordan featuring creative artist Not Nelif and Told Tomalia. Launch off massive jumps, grind down city streets, and collect coins to win. Score big when you cop the hang time bundle, get the grind off, clutch. I'm not gonna read that. Alright, Haunted Hills theme. Pretty cool. Finally added. Creative islands now displayed in the main map as well as the full screen map. Players are now able to change the island slot in their personal Rift event even after visiting an island with a high memory cost. Alright, new fastest time to win setting. It's self-explanatory. Alright, bug fixes. Wrong team can no longer be declared the winner of a round. Players will now correctly spawn to spawn pads or checkpoints rather than in the air. Lobby music will no longer play on a continuous loop after winning a game. Players no longer need to press the same button twice in order to perform certain actions with a controller. Weapons will now be granted by the team settings and inventory device even after team rotation. Floor traps are now deleted along with their supporting floor even when a ramp is built over it. Pickaxe no longer swings involuntarily when swapping to the phone while swinging. Jitter no longer appears on multiple assets on featured islands. Creatures are able to move through archways from the jungle temple set. The island owner is no longer automatically declared the winner of a game as long as they have more health than the opponents. The winner of the game is now determined by a scoreboard stat 1 rather than the total highest score. Alright, creative tools and phones. The phone will now target barrier devices for deletion. Old school and quick builder controls now function correctly with the phone. The axis is no longer missing when rotating an object with the phone. Players can select the phone now when using a custom control scheme on Switch. Players can no longer destroy hollow screens without permission while on another player's islands. Alright, and then these are just the added stuff. Alright, the basketball hoop from the Neo Tilted Prop Gallery was placed with the destructible version, and the non-destructible version was added to the indestructible gallery. The Ruined Shop's prefab name was changed to No Sweat Insurance Building. Grass no longer clips through the rubble piles from the Scorched Gallery. The following pieces no longer disappear when trying to copy and paste: Lucky Landing Roof Corner, Arctic Base Hangar Roof, and Hangar Roof Trim. Added player collision to the mansion rug, giving it the same properties as other props. Increased the preview volume size for the Neo Tilted Prop Gallery. Corner Diner Counter is in the No Sweat Insurance Building, formerly known as Ruined Shops, can be copied and pasted now. The Factory Walls Gallery and the Parkour Gallery blue preview volumes fit within their respective galleries sizes now. Objects from the Military Lights Gallery no longer display a black bar when viewed from behind on mobile. Alright. Added grind power up allows player to slide on any surface and apply spark effects to the player's feet. Alright. Added color changing tiles device, prop floor or tile that will change the team color of the player who touches it. Added additional options to the explosive device. Added additional option to the capture device. Player capture allows players to score points by remaining inside the capture area. Added additional option to the pinball bumper, knockback mega high. Alright, added additional options to the collectibles gallery. Added new object options: amber, pyramid, blue pyramid, cylinder, shoe, and basketball. Alright, added additional options to the objectives in the gallery. Added additional options to the item spawner. Added additional options to the creative manager. Alright, bug fixes: barrier devices display correctly if a player is standing by them before a game starts. Pinball flipper knockback effect now activates after the first bump. Resources can now be kept in the team settings and inventory device. The setting is now is called maximum building resources. The very low gravity setting in the team settings and inventory device no longer requires a player to die before it is applied. Alright, added options to the UI settings menu for showing round winner screen and scoreboard screen during rounds-based games. Added new screen to show the winner of a game. Bug fixes: the main Battle Royale Islands map is now visible and creative. Friend list panel will now display on iOS. Players will no longer be unable to open the main menu after opening social panel and scoreboard UI simultaneously. The button for phase mode will now appear on mobile. Several time is no longer displayed while playing a game. The start game widget no longer overlaps with the inventory bar on mobile. The score display at the end of a round now displays the summary of all rounds. Alright, let's get on to Save the World. Alright, they've added the Space Rocks war game. Alright, and then Rex Jonesy. Alright, so the Space Rocks, at the end of each wave, a bunch of small meteors or one massive meteor will come at your base, so you shoot them down or you just build. Okay? Bug fixes: the button UI will no longer appear incorrectly on the evacuate the shelter building. Event tickets shown on the X-Ray Llama UI will change to the new event ticket type when the previous event has ended. The UI will now display the correct items manuals received after completing a transform. Note: transforms never gave the base 149 training manuals designs that you get when you recycle an item, but a UI bug was introduced that incorrectly showed that you would obtain these items. A gift box will be granted to each player who used the transform feature from release 7.40 until now. Grants the missed manuals that the UI indicated. Fixed an issue that prevented players from starting Canny Valley 10 Storm Shield Defense. Alright. UI, the war game reward UI for Twine Peaks has changed from rare perk up to perk up to more accurately reflect that a perk up of varying rarity may be received. Alright, bug fixes: all mission modifiers list will now properly display the accurate number of modifiers. Previously only 4 may have been shown even if more were active. The scroll bar on the confirm recycle UI now functions correctly when using a gamepad. Spamming the replay button will no longer cause the quest reward voiceover to repeatedly play. The armory tab will no longer show an exclamation point notification if the Transformer collection book menu options have been unseen or locked items. The minimap no longer appears solid white before Ray's voice plays during the start of a mission. Menu navigation now functions properly after canceling a mission search while using a controller. Alright. Players will no longer get stuck in the expedition reward screen if attempting to claim rewards while matchmaking or in an active lobby. Fixed an issue with the quest event expanding and getting stuck while caused it to be navigable on consoles. Alright. Performance reduced hitching in various parts of the front end, including opening the expedition slot or squad slot menus, assigning a hero to a loadout, navigating items on the transform screen, using an XP boost, upgrading gadgets, improve client loading to prevent hitching during gameplay, improve performance data collection to help identify performance issues in the future. Alright, so with Rex Jonesy, you get Saurian Might, which is kind of like Paleo Lunas, where you get a percentage of your health is applied to sword damage, except for this, a percentage of your health is applied to range weapon hit. So 3% of all your health. So if you got like 1,000,000 health like in those random videos, then 3% of 1,000,000 you get on your range weapon. Sick. Alright. Or 9% if you're using him. Alright. That's a lot of bug fixes. Constructor's Base no longer applies its effect to destroyed building pieces. Rosie will no longer detonate proximity mines when placed near them. Shockwave will no longer cost stamina and trigger the cooldown if the ability is interrupted. Decoy will no longer AoE damage allies when using your move creep perk. The phase forward perk now correctly applies the full movement speed bonus. Bull Rush no longer targets ally players and NPCs. Shock Tower now targets enemies that are behind low walls. Shock Wave no longer gets stuck in its animation. Teddy now has a proper cooldown when cast with less than 60 energy. The In a Pinch perk no longer has persisting VFX after changing weapon mid-reload. The Hunter's Instinct perk, Life Leech, properly applies to melee attacks rather than all attack types. Anti-Material Charge can no longer pass through Teddy. Phase Siphon no longer applies healing effects when phasing through allies. Phase Siphon now shows the correct healing value when used as a commander perk. Blakebeard, the Black-Hearted Cannon, can no longer hit the Storm King multiple times. Alright, so his turret, Rosie, I'm guessing. Outlander abilities are now properly granted cooldown reduction when used with one charge fragment. Alright. Cozy Campfire durability properly sets when reloaded from previous wargame and Storm Shield defense. Trap durability restored to its pre-mission value when failing wargame or Storm Shield defense, and are working on resetting if it's completed. Alright. Players will now be eliminated when falling off the world in Plankerton Storm Shield Zone. Objects can now be spawned without a long delay. The craft and slot option now slots an item properly after crafting has been completed. Alright, Mistpod Destruction audio now plays correctly in wargames, and fix an issue in settings where all sliders were half the normal width. Alright, well, that was the patch notes. That took a while to read, but anyway, if you guys enjoyed, hit the like button down below, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Before I end this, I'm gonna go over the game recognized game, so let's see it.
Yo, check this out. Yo, check this out. Yo, check this. Yo, check this out.
Alright, pretty cool. And then also you will get challenges for these skateboards, which are back blings. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Fortnite X Jordans. So if you guys enjoyed, hit the like button down below, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.